November 3rd, 2024, 11:15. I'm here at Kiganji Temple in Gifu Prefecture, where the Momiji Festival is being held today, so I decided to check it out. The festival seems to be held to dedicate the Tanikumi dance. This is a parking lot near the temple. You can park here for 300 yen per car, while the neighboring lot charges 400 yen. I wonder if each lot is owned by different people? Maybe there's a reason why the 400 yen price is made to stand out more. Since this is a festival with maple in its name, the leaves are usually red by this time of year, but they're still very green. I've been to Kiganji a few times before, usually around the end of the year, but this is my first time visiting in autumn. Well, as you can see from my usual casual clothes, it's still a bit warm during the day in November this year. So maybe the leaves haven't turned just yet. But there are some areas with a slight hint of red. I actually thought Kiganji was a shrine, but it's a temple. I mean, the name has temple in it, so of course it's a temple. But everyone around here, myself included, calls this place Tanikumi Mountain, rather than Kiganji. It's only now that I realized we were using the mountain's name instead of the temple's. The difference between a temple and a shrine, as I understand it, is that they belong to different religions. Buddhism for temples and Shinto for shrines. Temples are places where people train, while shrines are for worshiping gods. So this is likely a festival to dedicate a dance to Buddha? But I actually have plans after this, so I'll have to miss the dance. I'll still stop by the temple to pay my respects. Chestnut Yokan, Persimmon Yokan. Chestnuts still in their shells. They're selling all kinds of autumn foods. Now I'm craving chestnuts. Daichan's takoyaki. Dogs passing by, there were so many dogs. Before that, though, there's a rice cake throwing event here at 11:30. The tradition seems to have started with people tossing rice cakes during a ceremony after building a new house, as a prayer that no misfortunes will befall the new home. As for why rice cakes are thrown, there are various explanations, but the most interesting one is this. By circulating wealth like rice cakes or money among local people, they prevent misfortune due to envy and foster harmony in the community. I had to laugh at how reasonable that actually sounds. I also came to a festival in the spring, and they were tossing candy then. Candy is light, so it doesn't fly far, but rice cakes are heavier, so even if you're a bit further back, you still have a chance. Before the event, the people tossing the rice cakes were introduced. There's the mayor and town council members of Ibagun. By the way, we're in an administrative district called Ibagun. I didn't recognize any faces or names, but that's not because I live just outside the area. I wouldn't know the face of my own city's mayor either. camera down and get serious about catching some. The rice cakes are pretty hard, so it kind of hurts if you get hit. They're throwing a lot of rice cakes. See? They're even reaching far out here. Though as the throwers get tired, the distance drops a bit. The rice cakes thrown here at Keiganji are prayed over for household safety and good health. Result time. Since I leisurely took videos during the event, I managed to catch 3. Not quite in focus, but hey, I wanted to catch both red and white rice cakes if possible, and I did. In Japan, red and white together are considered lucky. They even use red and white drapes for ceremonies like school entrance and graduation ceremonies. There are plenty of explanations for why it's lucky, so I'll leave that for another time. There's also some food available. Let's take a look. They have curry kintan, sweet chestnut paste. Kusamochi, mugwort rice cakes. Okaki, rice crackers. And grilled salted ayu fish. Gifu is famous for ayu fish. Gohei mochi is also well known in the southeastern part of Gifu and into Aichi Prefecture. Gohei mochi contains walnuts, so be careful if you're allergic. I used to be allergic to walnuts, but I don't seem to be anymore. Can allergies just go away on their own? I didn't have any special treatment. My walnut allergy just sort of came and went. Here's some chestnut rice. This is chestnut okowa. It's made by cooking glutinous rice with chestnuts and seasonings. It looked delicious. There'll be another festival here on November 16th and 17th, so maybe I'll come back then. They're doing some sort of riddle-solving event within Keiganji, and there's also a tea ceremony for the first 100 visitors at 11. But what is this scratch? When I touched it, it felt smooth, so the scratch is probably on the inside. How could it get a scratch shaped like this? All right, time to go visit the temple. It's about a 10-minute walk from the parking lot to Keiganji. You walk up a gentle slope for quite a bit. Hiroshima-style okonomiyaki. Okonomiyaki with yakisoba in it. Seems like there are various types of okonomiyaki. Something stylish. I still don't fully get the difference between temples and shrines. A torii gate marks the boundary between the human and divine realms, so people bow when entering. But this is a temple. I'll go ahead and bow just in case. They say that as we live in the human world, we naturally gather impurities, so we wash our hands here to cleanse ourselves before meeting Buddha. And at the very end, there's a steep staircase to climb. This is probably something called a jokoro, a place where worshippers offer incense. It's used in different ways, such as offering fragrance to Buddha, or with beliefs that the smoke can cleanse impurities or heal physical ailments. I didn't take any photos of the altar because it didn't feel right. There's also a shrine or temple further along, but I'll have to skip it today since I'm short on time. There was cheesecake for sale. Apparently, 3 out of 1,000 people say it tastes bad. The word bad really stood out in bright colors, so I thought it was some kind of bizarre food, but it turned out to be a simple brag.